Democrats shut for the government illegal health care. So, day 3 of the Democrat shutdown, military families stand in food lines at 5 in the morning. 7 million mothers and infants face empty shelves when WIC runs dry. Air traffic controllers guide your planes without getting paid, all because Chuck Schumer buried a poison pill on page 57 of his bill. $200 billion of your tax dollars for illegal alien health care. All of that while American veterans can't access transition servants, while our troops defend this nation without paychecks. Democrats hold the entire government hostage for people who broke our laws to get here. Think about that. And the receipts, they're in. The evidence is undeniable. And what you're about to see is going to make your blood boil. Go ahead and keep watching, guys. So, gold has gone mainstream. You're seeing it everywhere, and prices keep climbing. Every day, more and more Americans are catching on to the power of gold. But how do you actually take advantage of it? Do you invest in a way that's safe, simple, and built for the long run? That's when Noble Gold Investments comes in. Noble Gold specialists are trained to help investors like you go from confused to confident, from wondering what's next to knowing exactly what to do. So visit nextnewsgold.com today to claim your free wealth protection kit. And again, that's nextnewsgold.com. So day 3 of the shutdown exposes a brutal truth about Democrat priorities. While military families face financial ruin and mothers worry about feeding their children, Chuck Schumer holds American hostages for one reason: illegal alien health care. And the evidence sits buried on page 57 of their counter-proposal demanding $200 billion taxpayer dollars for people who broke our laws to get here. This isn't about compromise or negotiation. It's about Democrats choosing illegals over Americans. Plain and simple. They turn government funding into a weapon against our own citizens. So watch what happens when Speaker Johnson confronts the media with hard evidence. He's got the receipts that expose exactly what Democrats are doing to American families. Take a look.
Welcome to day 3 of the Democrat shutdown. You've got the Chuck Schumer and the Senate Democrats have now voted 3 times to reject the clean, simple, continuing resolution that we passed out of the House 2 weeks ago to keep the government operating for the people. Real pain for real Americans. And they're claiming breathlessly, Dana, that they're not trying to restore free taxpayer-funded benefits and health care to illegal aliens, and it's simply not true. I would direct everybody right now, go to speaker.gov, okay? That's my official website. We put right there on the first page the evidence. I have the receipts, okay, as Bill said earlier. Chuck Schumer filed a counter proposal, a counter continuing resolution when they voted ours down. And what is in that? If you go there on the page, you'll see, go to page 57. It's buried in their document. But it says in that section 2141, right there, Chuck Schumer filed it. It says they want to repeal the health provisions of the One Big Beautiful Bill, the Working Families Tax Cut that we Republicans passed earlier this year and that President Trump signed into law on July 4th. Now, why is that so important? Because, Dana, that's where you'll find they want to add back in almost $200 billion of taxpayer funds to give free stuff to illegal aliens. 100% in writing, not a Republican talking point. It's Chuck Schumer's own document.
So there it is. Democrats voted 3 times to keep the government shut down rather than give up free health care for illegals, of all things. The evidence is it's literally right there on page 57 of Schumer's bill. And now the witnesses, like devastating impact on military families. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt lays out the human cost of Democrat obstruction while they play politics with our troops' survival. Take a look.
We are now in day 3 of the Democrat-led government shutdown. The Democrats continue to recklessly hold the American people hostage over their demands to give illegal aliens free health care. Republicans are fully unified behind passing nonpartisan clean funding bill, the exact same bill that Democrats approved back in March to reopen the federal government. But those same Senate Democrats are now voting against this clean funding bill and keeping the people's government closed. I understand Democrats will have an opportunity very shortly here to change course, and we hope that they will. There are significant personal impacts on millions of Americans as a result of this current government shutdown. The 1.3 million men and women of America's Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, and Space Force who serve honorably and put their lives on the line to defend us all are not being paid. Military families are already seeking out food assistance because of financial anxiety caused by this Democrat shutdown. According to new reporting from the Military Times, staff members at the Armed Services YMCA food pantry distribution location near Fort Hood in Texas found a line of military families stretched around the side of the building yesterday at 5 in the morning. According to the staff who work there, that is, quote, not happened ever. They already had a 34% increase this week over past weeks. President Trump and Republicans fundamentally believe we have a sacred responsibility to protect and provide for our military families with the resources they need to thrive. If Democrats believe in this very simple premise too, they should end this shutdown immediately. Unfortunately, the severe impacts of the Democrat shutdown extend beyond our troops. Nearly 7 million mothers, infants, and low-income families who rely on government-run food assistance will be in jeopardy if the WIC program runs out of money in the weeks ahead. The more than 13,000 air traffic controllers who ensure that Americans fly safely in airports across the country are currently working without pay. The National Flood Insurance Program is in danger of lapsing, which could leave families without necessary help if a disaster strikes, and we are in the middle of hurricane season. Critical services offered at Social Security field offices are reduced for senior citizens and disabled Americans. Helpful transition assistance programs are not being provided for veterans who fought to defend our country and are now trying to re-enter civilian life. The economic consequences of this shutdown are piling up every day. Policymakers, markets, and even the Federal Reserve are flying blind at a key juncture because BLS and BEA data are on hold until the government reopens. Democrats shutting down the federal government to give health care to illegal aliens could lead to lower growth and higher unemployment rates for Americans. According to a new memo from the Council of Economic Advisors, the U.S. economy could lose $15 billion of growth domestic product each week. Every single week, the Democrat shutdown extends, with a month-long shutdown leading to an additional 43,000 unemployed people. Small businesses are likely to encounter delays in receiving federal loans. Mortgage applications will likely shrink.
And leave it to the Democrats to literally sit there and say every single time, like, oh, the government shutdowns are bad, and then let military families sit in line at food banks. Mothers and infants are losing food assistance, all because they wanted to give illegal aliens health care. This is the Democrat priority laid bare. The White House even changed their phone message to expose this betrayal. And you guys really need to listen to and hear what they did and what, this is what they are doing to the callers when they try to get to the government. Take a look. It's incredible.
Thank you for calling the White House comment line.
Hello, America. This is White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. Democrats in Congress have shut down the federal government because they care more about funding health care for illegal immigrants than they care about serving you, the American people. Until Democrats vote for the clean, Republican-backed continuing resolution to reopen the government, the White House is unable to answer your call or respond to your questions. We look forward to hearing from you again very soon. And in the meantime, please know President Trump will never stop fighting for you. Thank you, and God bless you.
And that's literally just perfect. They can't answer your calls because Democrats care more about illegal aliens than they do about Americans. And that's not rhetoric, folks. That's reality. And here's Leader Thune explaining how Democrats got exactly what they asked for, a clean bill, then voted it down anyways. Why? Because Trump is in the White House, of course. Take a look.
All we need is a handful more Democrats. We have a majority of senators, 55 senators, have already voted for this clean, short-term, nonpartisan CR. As the Speaker said, no policy riders, no gimmicks, nothing in here that benefits Republicans. This is a straight-up 7-week funding resolution, and we need it to keep the government open. And if we don't keep the government open, you'll have all the things that the Speaker just alluded to, all the Americans who are adversely impacted by this government shutdown. Now, this is something, as you all know, as recently as the last administration, during the Biden administration, when the Democrats had the majority here in the United States Senate, the Democrats on 13 different occasions voted for this, a short-term continuing resolution. Now, I have to ask, what's changed? What's different about this? What's different is who's in the White House. That's what it's about. It's all about President Trump and the Democrats needing to pick a fight to satisfy their far-left political base, far-left activist organizations who are the tail wagging the dog right now. That's all this is about. And you have a Democrat leader from New York in the Senate, a Democrat leader in the House from New York, and you have a mayoral race in New York, you've got AOC, you've got all these people that are bringing pressure to bear on what should be a routine, simple, straightforward proposition, and that is a short-term continuing resolution to keep the government funded, which is sitting right now. This is sitting at the Senate desk. We will have a vote another hour or two, and it'll be the fourth time that Democrats will have an opportunity to vote to keep the government open. Now, at some point, reason, good sense, common sense has to take effect here.
So I want to put this in perspective for everybody. 13 times under Joe Biden, they passed this exact same bill. Now with Trump, they manufacture a crisis. It's pure political sabotage. And even Senator Rand Paul, who votes against most spending, exposes the hypocrisy and the insanity. Both proposals explode the deficit, but Democrats want to add another $1 trillion on top. Check this crap out.
Senator Rand Paul from the great state of Kentucky. He is one of, now you're either going to love it or hate it. He is one of the senators who's like, no, I'm done with the inability to do math. We are finished with us. And he's been standing against this CR. And he makes a really good point about it with specific reference to Doge and the real cuts that came with Doge. Senator, it's always good to talk with you. Happy Friday. Tell us where you, because I know y'all are going to vote in the next hour.
Yes, we'll be voting very shortly. This will be the third time around. We've done this 3 times. But there are 2 different proposals, a Republican proposal and a Democrat proposal. The Republican proposal, when you add it all up, spending for a year versus a revenue, will lead to a $2 trillion deficit for the next year. That's about what we had this year. It'll be a little greater next year. I just think that's a non-starter. Now, the Democrats are worse. You know, do you want to choose the lesser of 2 evil, or you want to call them both out as evil? The Democrat proposal would add $1 trillion in spending and be about $3 trillion in debt. But I don't think either one of them are acceptable. And people have been coming up to me and say, is there anything that would convince you to vote for this? And I say, well, yeah, why? If you cut the $2 trillion in half and you had a $1 trillion deficit next year and then a $0.5 trillion the next year and $250 billion, you know, if you did what I've been calling for with the penny plan to balance over 5, I'll vote. It doesn't have to be perfectly balanced right now, but it has to be going in the right direction. It can't, who are we and are there any conservatives left if we're voting for a budget that's going to add more debt next year than we already added this year?
So these Democrats, a $2 trillion deficit becomes $3 trillion under Democrats. They're bankrupting America while military families starve. And Newt Gingrich knows exactly who's behind this disaster. His theory about the DNC strategy meetings will make you laugh and rage at the same time. Take a look.
Do you know how hard it is for a major party to design a strategy that has 2 different stupid things in the same strategy?
Well, who's designing the
must have
strategy?
Some guys.
I mean, who's doing this? Is it Hakeem? Is it Nancy? Is it AOC? Is it Schumer? No one knows who's in charge.
Do you want my personally totally uninformed guess?
Yes.
There are 3 or 4 guys and gals, I don't want to be discriminatory, off in a corner at the DNC who, when they have enough cocaine, finally say, we're ready. Now let's do something brilliant. And they come up with stuff like that. You show me a better explanation.
So I want you guys to think about that. 3 or 4 people high on their own power, destroying American lives for political points. That is the Democrat Party in 2025. And Greg Gutfeld nails it. Trump makes everything fun, even shutdowns. And while Democrats melt down over the memes, Americans see through the lies about racist sombreros. Check this out.
The Democrats all day yesterday saying it wasn't about health care.
Well, I just want to look. I have some information to respond with. To respond to Harold, where is it?
That's because you have health care and you got the biggest part.
Yes, I am a rich, white conservative. I love it when Trump says he wants to get rid of Deadwood. Immediately, John Kerry went into hiding. But I love that Trump makes shutdowns fun because he makes everything fun with the memes. Poor Hakeem Jeffries, or as some like to call him, the straight Obama. He doesn't know how to react to silly jokes. So he says, I'll just join in. And he's so stilted. It's painful. But they got to understand, only the right can do memes because memes find truth in absurdity, which is why the left and the woke is such a rich target. But you can't do it in reverse. The left are terrible at it because they're the absurdity in the equation. So they can't even see outside themselves. It's easy for us to lampoon them. How do you lampoon us? We don't want men and women's sports. We want a tight border. We want a reduction in crime. Good luck lampooning that. But defunding the cops, we can lampoon that. Dudes in dresses showing off their junk to kids. That's pretty easy, guys. Maybe change your policy.
If it wasn't such a target-rich environment, maybe the right would be bad at memeing. But the Democrats, they go so far extreme on the left, it's like you could throw a rock and hit a good meme off of it. And they even the J.D. Vance memes, they were trying to make his head go bigger and bigger and bigger. And we turned that right back around on them. And now J.D. Vance is owning that and loving it. So I just love seeing Gutfeld, dunking on these guys. We'll continue.
And stop worrying about the sombreros, which gets to my bigger point about this issue. It's not about the issue at all. The memes are telling the Democrats and the media, especially who's the lady with the teenage boy voice? Caitlin Connor? Yeah, Collins. We're telling you, we don't care what you think anymore. The accusation of racism doesn't fly because you said it about everything. You said sports were racist, fitness was racist, food was racist, inheritance taxes were racist. So we're taking your only tool and we're turning it into a joke. The sombrero totally just chaps your hide. We laugh. We're not running away from you. We're running at you, and we're laughing all the way. As Scott Adams says, this is a breakout moment. This is breakout mode for the Republican Party. And it's another lesson that we learned from Trump. We learned that Democrats treat tax dollars like musical chairs. Oh, it's not going to illegals, they say. That's true. You don't hand 10 grand right there when they walk in across the border. No, but you slip it into the COVID relief bill. Then you jack it all up and then you try to make it temporary. Or you say we don't pay for illegal health care. Well, the states do. And how are the states able to do it? Because the federal government gives them money to spend on other things so they could spend it there. It's an opportunity cost. Democrats are like the dude with the EBT card that was meant for milk and bread, but they end up buying cigarettes and liquor for their homie.
For their homie.
In your face, Harold.
All I know is when you all did that shutdown in 2017.
And it's so funny because the sombrero meme broke the Democrats because it exposed their scam. And every dollar for illegals is stolen from American families. Always keep that in the back of your minds. That money was always intended for American families in need. And Democrats, they know this. We know this. It's game over for them. So if you guys got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. So this is about more than a government shutdown. It's about who we are as a nation. Democrats have made their choice. Illegal aliens over American heroes. They'd rather see military mothers at food banks than admit their open border policies failed. They'd rather watch veterans lose services and stop funding people who shouldn't even be here in the first place. And Chuck Schumer's page 57 poison pill revealed everything. $200 billion were stolen. They were stolen from American families to do what? To pay for illegal alien health care while our troops are working without paychecks. This is theft, plain and simple. The Democrats own every hungry military child, every unpaid air traffic controller, and every veteran cut off from services. They chose this, and they voted for this. Not once, not twice, 3 times. So here's a question for you viewers. Should any senator who votes to fund illegal aliens over American troops be allowed to remain in office? Yes or no? Drop me the answer in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. So, and while you're fired up, folks, check out our merch shop. It's linked below. So shop show the world where you guys stand. Let's get it done.